Today we're going to be unboxing, setting up, and reviewing the moonLit Magic Bubbling Cauldron from Home Depot's 2022 Halloween season. Here's the 5-foot moonLit Magic Collection Bubbling Cauldron from Home Depot's 2022 Halloween release. This is the newest 2022 edition. The older one from last year had the green bubbling cauldron stuff inside there, and it had some skulls on either side, but this year they changed it up. It's a little bit different looking. Still cool, but last year I couldn't get it online, and I also could not find it at all anywhere in store. I had a hard time finding anything last year. So on July 15th they released everything, and I was lucky enough to be able to purchase this and this fellow over here, the pumpkin head skeleton. These arrived today, and we're going to unbox this and set it up, and we're gonna see what it's all about, see if it's worth the hype. Now this was $89. I know last year they were $79. Same with those were $79 this year. The newer ones are $89, and instead of pumpkin heads this year they have just regular skull heads, but they have the LCD eyes on those as well. But there is a price increase, go figure. We're gonna cut this box open. First things first, we have the directions right here. Seems to be pretty quick and easy to set this up. There's not a whole lot here, so we just got to make sure everything is in the box, because I have seen on Facebook that they're having some issues with some stuff. So right off the get-go, on the top we have all the legs for the cauldron here, the tripod. Oh, and then everything inside there. So then they just stuff everything down inside. So we'll just pull out the cauldron. Okay, so we have the accessory box. This is the lid for the bubbling cauldron part. This is the top of the tripod. Down inside is the flame effect. And then on the very back side you have some cord sticking out. Seems some type of adapter. And then you have a AC plug here. Get our directions out, see what we need to do here. Like I said, it doesn't seem to be very hard. So yeah, yep, we got all this stuff. Let's open this. Let's make sure we have everything here. We got our bones, or bone utensils, and then the ends. Alright, so let's get into this. First, you start off, it shows here, you need D, E, and D. They all snap together. And I guess it doesn't really matter which goes where here. And they all turn and lock into each other. So I'm going to do the rest of these. Alright, so our next step is to take part D into part C, which is the very top part of the tripod. And doesn't matter which way you put these in. They all turn and lock. Same thing with this one. Turn, lock it. Last but not least, put it in there and turn to lock it. Now I'm just going to lay that there. Next step is you have these little plastic things here. Let me get them out of the bag and I'll show you. Next we have these little plastic feet. There's 3 of them, and they go inside the bottom of this. So I'll spin this around. so I can access all the feet. Whoop. So they just slide into the bottoms here, and then you can tilt it however you need to. And you can stand it up, and then it shouldn't fall over on you. Alright, as you can see, we have the TP standing up here. So our next pieces is going to be the bones. I don't think it really matters which side you put on here. G, it says G and F. It doesn't really matter which side these go in. They slide in up here at the top, and they just push in. Just like that. And then you got your hanging bones. And our next step here is going to be our cauldron. On the bottom of this, I don't know how well you can see, but there's a kind of a cleared out spot here and here. Well, they match up with LED lights on the very top of this. So you just want to set this down over top of that. You also have 3 hooks. You have the chains hanging down off of here, and then you also have 3 little hooks hanging off the sides here. And it just gradually swings about there, not too crazy. So once you put it in the grass, it won't go anywhere. Then you have 3 6-inch stakes to hold these in the ground on the bottom inside of those feet. Here we have our adapter, which just screws in to the bottom over here. It just plugs in. Screwed on real tight. Okay, we got our extension cord. Reach down inside, turn it on. Put the lid back on. There we go. She's all lit up. I'm going to go ahead and turn the lights off and show you what it looks like with the lights turned off in full darkness. Now this would look really cool with a fog machine or a mister of some sort. You could put a mister beside it. I wouldn't put it in there just because the electronics are inside there. But you could put a fog machine or a fog tube somewhere in there and have it fog out of there, or just a fog machine behind it. Just something to add some awesome effect to it. Or if you have a fog machine all throughout your cemetery or your witch house or whatever, this could be, you can make something really, really cool with this. I really enjoy the look of this. Now down inside here, there on the switch, there's 2 functions. You can do lights or lights and sounds. And here's with the lights and the bubbling sound. So if you wanted to put this inside your house with just the lights, you could use the other effect, or you could use this effect. So I'll turn the lights off and show that. Now, as you can see, this would be really cool out in your graveyard or out in front of like a cabin that you have for your witches, or just have a bunch of witches standing around this. Now, I had also purchased the 12-foot witch, so I'm probably going to have that somewhere in the vicinity of this. Plus, I have some other witches that I can use to stand by this. But I really wanted to pick this up last year. It was out of stock. And when it came online this year for purchase, I went ahead and picked this up because I just had to have it. Even though I don't personally do a lot of stuff with witches, I ended up picking up this cauldron and the 12-foot witch this year. So All in all, I do like it. I like the sounds, the fire, the bubbling sounds it makes. It does look pretty cool. Yeah, it sounds really good. It is pretty loud. It's going to look great outside, definitely at night with the really bright, vibrant purple lights it's got going, and then also the fire at the bottom. So I'm really excited to see how this will look outside once all the fall weather starts coming in and leaves are falling on the ground. I'm pretty excited to see how this is going to look fully set up outside in the dark during fall. As far as the bones, I'm not the huge fan on the bones, but I would have rather been the skulls like last year. But nonetheless, they are old witchcraft type utensils, and it is pretty cool, I guess. But as far as these stakes, these are super flimsy, so make sure you use the stakes that this comes with. I don't know how well these are gonna hold. Maybe you could find some like pent stakes. Like I said, I don't know. Once fall, especially here, it rains a lot, so the ground's going to get really soft, and a good gust of wind could absolutely destroy this thing. So just keep that in mind. Make sure you put some kind of stake in the ground when you put this thing down, and or maybe you could even put some bricks around the sides of it. But this itself is really, really, really flimsy. This is like some really cheap hollow pieces of plastic here. It's really cheap, so just keep that in mind. This isn't built tough. This is just some cheap plastic chain. It's all pretty light. This whole thing is not very heavy at all. So just keep that in mind if you plan on keeping it outside. I'm gonna 100% say this whole setup isn't waterproof, because this lid isn't like sealed tight to where no water could get in there. You could make it waterproof, but I don't know how you would turn it off and on other than just unplugging it. Now, it would be kind of cool if all this on the sides lit up, kind of like how this does down here, but it is what it is. I mean, all in all, for 89 bucks, I mean, it's pretty cool. I wish I would have been able to pick this up last year for 79, save $10, but I mean, if you have some coupons or gift cards or something to make it a little cheaper on your wallet there, definitely go ahead and use those. And as far as this stuff, I don't know, like if you could probably just hot glue that up somehow and then peel it off when you go to put this back in the box after the season. But yeah, you can spiffy this up any way you'd like. You could add your own thing to this, but just keep in mind it's very, very, very flimsy. Like I said, a pretty decent wind is, I mean, I don't know if a decent wind would knock this over, but it could. I mean, if something like a tree branch or something fell and hit this, it's definitely going to snap it. They should have definitely put some more thought into the sturdiness of this. As you can see, I'm barely moving it, and it's very flimsy. But nonetheless, it is pretty cool for 89 bucks. If you see it, definitely snag it. As far as these items being in the stores, who knows? Everything is flying off the shelves right now, so hopefully we get some more stuff in. So if you like Halloween unboxing videos, yard haunt setups, professional haunts, or anything in between that has to do with Halloween, make sure to click on the videos popping up at the top of your screen, and I will catch you on that next video. Thank you for watching.